Why engage in YPAR? This module series introduces Youth Participatory Action Research, or YPAR. This method empowers young people to lead research projects addressing issues impacting their lives. YPAR fosters collaboration between youth and adults, enabling youth to develop key skills, advocate for change, and build agency. A more robust description of the steps involved in a YPAR process is covered in our first module, What is YPAR? While this module focuses on the key question, why engage in YPAR? This module explores YPAR's positive impact on adolescent development, demonstrating how it strengthens 6 key developmental areas. Furthermore, it showcases YPAR's benefits for communities and adults, leading to improved policies, programs, and enhanced professional development. We've invited youth and educators to share their experiences and answer the question, why engage in YPAR? Finally, the module provides 2 examples of successful YPAR projects. We hope that you can use these outcomes to advocate for YPAR within your settings. We have designed this module to support the work of educators, youth-serving professionals, and researchers. The developmental benefits of YPAR. Adolescence, roughly the ages of 10 to 25, is a time of great opportunity. Engaging in youth participatory action research can support adolescent development. We will review the unique developmental needs of adolescents and highlight how engaging in YPAR can enhance them. The 6 developmental needs are 1. Exploration and risk-taking. 2. Meaning and purpose through contribution. 3. Decision-making and emotional regulation. 4. Support from parents and other caring adults. 5. Developing goals, values, and identity. And 6. Feeling respect and honoring social status. You can read more about each of these needs at UCLA's Center for the Developing Adolescent. One developmental need is exploration and risk-taking. Taking risks and trying new things is an important part of adolescence. It helps young people build new skills, discover who they are, and make sense of the world we live in. YPAR supports young people in proposing new ideas and solutions and taking healthy risks through exposure to new concepts, ideas, and learning opportunities, like conducting interviews or speaking with decision makers. A second developmental need is meaning and purpose through contribution. Adolescents increase their capacity to positively contribute to their communities. As they contribute, they feel an increased sense of meaning and purpose. In YPAR, youth identify, research, and take action on issues that matter to them and their community. They synthesize evidence, propose actionable changes, and share their findings with decision makers. With YPAR, youth are contributing members to their community instead of solely recipients of services. In studies of YPAR, young people show increased leadership, agency, and psychological empowerment, the feeling like you have the control, ability, and confidence to make decisions and actively contribute to your work or situation. A third developmental need is decision-making and emotional regulation. Throughout adolescence, young people learn to regulate their emotional responses, consider the feelings of others, and navigate making complex decisions. Throughout the YPAR process, young people make decisions about the topic they want to research, how they will delegate tasks, and how they want to share their findings with decision makers. YPAR provides opportunities for emotional regulation, specifically through turning their passions into evidence-based action steps. In studies of YPAR, many authors report how it supports youth to be able to listen to and understand multiple perspectives, fosters collaborative problem solving, and allows youth to share their experience in a supportive environment. A fourth developmental need is support from parents and other caring adults. Although adolescents progressively become less dependent on adult caregivers, they still need secure and supportive relationships with adults in their lives. Through YPAR, youth strengthen their relationships with adults. Adults can be facilitators, partners, audience members, decision makers, and/or research subjects in YPAR projects. These touchpoints offer youth an opportunity to build trusting relationships with adults who are invested in celebrating each young person's contribution and amplifying young people's ideas. When young people and adults partner together toward shared goals of improving their school or community, this creates deeper relationships, moving beyond the traditional roles of teacher and student to be able to understand and appreciate one another as people. The developmental science literature is clear that having support from caring adults is a key protective factor for adolescent health and well-being. YPAR creates the conditions for these relationships to form and flourish. A fifth developmental need is the formation of goals, values, and identity. Adolescence is a period when young people refine their sense of who they are, what they value, and who they want to be in the world. Throughout YPAR, youth have the opportunity to clarify what is important to them and to create collective goals. They also have the opportunity to experience new identities, such as researcher, leader, and agent of change. Through these experiences, YPAR invites young people to reflect on who they are, what they believe, and what they care about. Journal articles about YPAR report that many projects, especially those that focus on social issues related to a young person's identity, contribute to socio-political development or an increased understanding of, engagement in, and responsibility for the social and political world. A final developmental need is the opportunity to earn respect and social status from peers and adults in positive ways. Adolescents are very sensitive to feelings of respect and inclusion from both youth and adults. Through the YPAR process, young people have the opportunity to earn the respect of peers and adults as they become experts on a topic and make evidence-based recommendations for change. In addition, YPAR groups meet over time, at least a month to years, which creates a sense of belonging where young people build connections with their peers and adult allies, which broadens their social networks. In YPAR literature, studies report that youth learn collaborative problem solving and decision-making skills and build connections with peers that are unique. Given the increasing concern over youth well-being and mental health, it is important to call out the ways that YPAR can, if facilitated well, create experiences that promote positive mental health and well-being by fostering essential protective factors that support youth resilience and growth. Actively engaging in problem solving and advocacy builds adaptability and coping strategies, preparing young people to navigate challenges with confidence and perseverance. By connecting with peers, supportive adults, and community leaders, YPAR fosters a powerful sense of belonging and relational trust, both of which are protective factors associated with reduced risk for substance use, suicide, and other mental health challenges. Collectively, these elements contribute to improved psychological well-being by creating environments where young people feel valued, connected, and empowered. The YPAR framework reinforces the importance of strong social ties and mentorship as key components of resilience, highlighting their effectiveness in reducing risk factors and promoting lifelong mental health. Here you will meet Marissa, a social worker in an alternative school who shares how she sees YPAR serving youth's mental health.
And just like talking about mental health and mental wellness, I think there's still a lot of stigma when talking about mental health and mental wellness. And so just being comfortable discussing their own experiences and what that looks like and what their needs are, I think has also been a skill that young people have gained.
The impact of YPAR. Let's hear directly from some young people and college-age students who have been involved in YPAR. We will begin with Benjamin, who shares how YPAR has helped him.
It's really helped me more socially. Like I've gained more friends, like more skills like to present and stuff, like everyday skills that you need for like your future life.
Similar to Benjamin, Erie shares how participating in YPAR has supported friendships.
I've gotten to meet more people, made more friends, and have started to help out with our school's water systems.
Veda, who engaged in YPAR as a high school student and who is now in her undergrad, shares about the role of supportive adults who helped her in YPAR.
For me personally, the way I benefited from participating in YPAR is it was really interesting and really beneficial to have adults and have kind of teachers and people in the education system guide me when me and students were passionate about if we wanted to make change or if we just wanted to do something. It was really beneficial to have kind of adults supporting us and guiding us throughout that process. I think a lot of the times as students, we are passionate about doing something or we really want to see this outcome, but we don't know how to go about it. And it was really beneficial seeing how, like, adults were supporting us and adults had resources to get the results that we wanted.
Daniel, a middle school student, argues that other schools should do YPAR.
I believe other students and schools should participate in YPAR because it helps make schools better. It gives students an opportunity to communicate with each other outside of school, and it allows students to feel like they're making a difference because they are.
Youth participatory action research offers far reaching benefits not only for the young people engaged in the process, but also for the adults and communities they collaborate with. Here are 4 ways that YPAR can impact adults and communities. Personal and professional development. Adults gain valuable insights into how to value youth as experts in their own lives and as important stakeholders in school and community level decision making. Adults also reported an increased understanding of the experiences and needs of diverse youth. Adults often broaden their skills in data collection, for example, creating and analyzing surveys, analyzing data, and identifying possible actions that will improve the issue the youth team identified. Finally, adults report using knowledge or skills they gain from YPAR projects in other settings. Expanded and culturally relevant youth programming. YPAR provides a process to hear from a broad range of youth representing different experiences, promoting the development of more responsive, inclusive programming that fits the communities they serve. Finally, even after YPAR projects end, the experience results in more opportunities for youth voice in decision making. Policy development and refinement. Young people bring a unique lens to problems and solutions. By integrating youth-driven data and perspectives, YPAR supports the creation and adaptation of school, city, and state policies that better address the needs of young people. Advancing research. When YPAR efforts are designed to collect new knowledge about a problem experienced by young people, evidence suggests that the research is better able to recruit and engage the target population. Research findings are directly relevant to community contexts and rooted in cultural competence. Youth involved in YPAR with the intent to produce scholarly knowledge also share their findings beyond journal articles in community spaces that can produce actionable knowledge for social change. Testimonies from community leaders and professionals involved in YPAR reflect the transformative power of youth-driven inquiry, highlighting increased awareness, empathy, and commitment to advocacy. Eli from California shares about his work with YPAR.
Yeah, so my experience facilitating YPAR has been, first of all, very rewarding working with youth all these years. I started doing this type of work in around 2017, um, initially working with high school students. and currently with junior high school students. So the years that I've done this work, I've definitely had an opportunity, a privilege to work with different students and share a little bit of what I know and guide them, train them, encourage them. And at the same time, I think it's also been very beneficial to myself. I'm always learning. There's never a dull moment, and the youth are the future. So it's really a really special place to be, where we can really learn about research, but also focus on the issues that matter to them and how we can work together to really make a difference.
Marissa, our social worker from earlier, shares how hearing young people's experiences allows her to advocate for young people's needs.
I also really love hearing what young people share about topics, what they feel like their needs are, and thinking about how I can then advocate for that in when I'm meeting with my principal on my own, or like when I'm thinking about what supports I need to provide. I just love having like trying to be as youth informed as possible, and so that they are the experts. So it's nice to kind of hear directly from them on their needs.
This dynamic approach fosters reciprocal learning and sustainable partnerships that bridge generational divides and drive collective impact. YPAR in action. For our first example of YPAR in action, Eli shares about a YPAR project related to accessing safe, clean, and appealing water.
Another project most recently has been at a Hillview Junior High School, and they too are working on healthy hydration. And again, these are middle school students, and likewise, a lot of their water fountains are really old, not very appealing. They took pictures. They um, collected data on the number of water fountains, and they presented this information to the principal, which was very good information. I remember the principal saying she wasn't even aware how many water fountains were at the school. So thanks to the youth, she was able to kind of learn a little bit about not only how many, but the condition of these stations. And last year, the youth were able to collect water samples and send them to a lab for testing because there seems to be, from their survey, they asked all the students at the school, their perceptions of the water, and a lot of students think that it's like dirty, that it's not clean, that it's not safe to drink. So it's like, let's really find out and get the water tested. So they were able to do that, and the results showed that the water is safe to drink, but there is definitely room for improvement. And it's awesome to see the youth really get to ask these questions and then, look into it and collect data and, share with stakeholders and people who are in charge of the school building, and along with their peers at the school, because it's not just about them, but really their whole community in which they live in.
Now let's listen to Erie, who currently works with Eli, share in her own words her experience with this water project.
We decided on our project 2 years ago because we saw how dirty the water was, and we wanted to know if the water was safe to drink for students at our school. We used 4 water tests, and the tests came out that the water was clean and safe and had no lead or copper in it.
Our second example of YPAR in action takes place in San Francisco, where an 8th grade humanities class engaged in a YPAR project inspired by the graphic memoir Tomboy by Liz Prince, which explores gender identity and social expectations. The class discussed the memoir's themes and connected them to their personal experiences, focusing on their school dress code. The students noticed that their dress code disproportionately targeted girls and young women and reinforced harmful assumptions about behavior based on appearance. They decided to investigate the policy further by surveying students and adults in the school community to gather opinions on the dress code. The survey revealed a significant disconnect between adult perceptions of distraction caused by girls' clothing and the boys' lack of concern about it. After synthesizing the survey results, the students presented their findings to the staff, student council, and school leaders. They concluded that the dress code perpetuated the sexualization of young women and unfairly policed their clothing choices. With support from peers, faculty, and the student council, the students began researching other schools' policies to develop a more equitable dress guideline. The students played an active role in the proposal's creation, asserting their right to change a policy that directly impacted them. Through several rounds of revisions and meetings, the final proposal shifted the dress code to a guideline that emphasized safety, common sense, and anti-hate speech, with a focus on preventing shaming or sexualizing students. The proposal was passed, marking a significant achievement in student activism and decision-making. In summary, youth participatory action research is a powerful tool for youth empowerment and community change that can support the expansion of youth and adult knowledge and skills. In this module, you've heard how YPAR can support the 6 developmental needs of adolescents, heard directly from youth and adults about why YPAR supported personal and professional goals, examined YPAR's impact on adults and the systems where projects happen, and finally, heard about 2 examples from the field. YPAR empowers youth to lead real-world projects that build their resumes and enhance applications for higher education or employment, showcasing initiative, project management, and civic engagement. These experiences open pathways to careers in research, public health, education, and policy advocacy, positioning participants as leaders in creating sustainable change. Erie reminds you,
It's fun, it's healthy, and it helps other people get to know and help your school.
thank you for joining us for this overview of YPAR. We hope this module inspires you to advocate for YPAR, a process to engage with youth in meaningful collaborative research that leads to real-world change. Before we go, let's hear from Benjamin again with his hope for you.
It's an amazing program, and everybody should try to become part of it.
Funding for this series is provided by the Bezos Family Foundation. The UC Berkeley YPAR Hub offers foundational materials, tools, and lesson plans to support your project. These resources focus on essential topics like youth-adult partnerships, community engagement, and promoting equality, which are vital to the YPAR process. You can access these materials at the UC Berkeley YPAR Hub. By utilizing these steps and resources, you can effectively plan and implement YPAR that empowers youth, fosters social change, and creates a lasting impact on the community.